I hope this is working. If you're watching this, that means it's presentation time. Yeah. I made a video because I didn't feel like dealing with the embarrassment of standing in front of you all and looking like a total Nimrod. Also because I somehow got the misfortune of being picked first. So, enough of that garbage. Driving. Either you love it, or you don't, or you're banned from driving for reasons undisclosed. We can all agree that being able to drive alone on like a highway at night is the best. Nobody else around, just you and the road, whatever sexy song you're blasting. And then you get to a main road and all of a sudden you're stuck going 29 and a 45 because somebody's grandma decided it would be a great time to get a grocery at 8:23 p.m. on a Tuesday and she can't remember what lane she's supposed to be in. Nobody likes being stuck behind a shitty driver, which brings me to my main point. People who are over the age of 65 should definitely get their driver's licenses reevaluated at least annually. There are way too many accidents that happen because of negligent old people on the road.
Well, Cosmo, what are the reasons that you say that?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, disembodied voice inside my pocket. My first reason being is that elderly people are way more likely to suffer from fatal crashes despite not driving as much as younger people do like us. The specific number is 1 in 6. 1 in 6! That's more than 8,000 annually. In fact, let's take a look-see at those exact numbers. The risk of dying itself in a car crash for someone who is 75 to 79 years old is 2.5 times higher. That number increases to 5 times higher if you're 80 years or older. Those rates are significantly higher than drivers who are between the ages of 30 and 59. In fact, roughly 7,500 seniors over the age of 65 are killed in car accidents.
This was in 2020, by the way.
Thanks, disembodied pocket voice. Anyway, in 2020, there were also almost 200,000 seniors treated at hospitals for car accidents. That would equate to 20 elderly drivers dying each day and 700 suffering injuries from auto accidents nationwide. And get this, the number's only increasing. The biggest reason as to why they're so much more likely to die on the road is because...
Is it because they're old?
No, can you shut up? It's because their senses are depleting. It's a very obviously well-known fact that elderly individuals begin to struggle with things like cataracts, dementia, brain fog, joint pain, like how do you say it?
Sarcopenia is a condition that causes a progressive loss of muscle mass, strength, and function that occurs with aging.
So obviously, because of skill regression, older people are more likely to suffer from crashes. When the strength in your muscles decrease, it's harder to hit things like the brakes, or it can be harder to get your foot off the gas pedal. But hey, it's not just physical problems, you know? Which brings me to my next point. The number one cause of car crashes is human error. Obviously, elderly people are more likely to make human error because of all the previously disclosed reasons. Reaction time itself kind of slows when you get older. Say there's an 85-pound deer running across the road at night. Younger people, say probably in like their 30s, are probably going to be like, oh shit, and then stop the car as much as they can before actually hitting it, or hey, maybe they don't hit it at all. That's because their reaction time actually works out for them. But then you put your 86-year-old peepaw with a double hip replacement on that road, and oh my gosh, suddenly there's antlers in my face. Yeah, that's just a big oopsie waiting to happen. Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. Actually, before we get on to the final point, a lot of the reasons that you still see elderly people driving that should not be driving is because they miss people. As you get older, you lose a lot of the things that gave you your own autonomy and your own sense of self. Sometimes you fall out of contact with your family members. Sometimes they die because they're older than you. Sometimes they just want to feel that sense of self again, and of course, you can't get mad at them for that. However, there has to be some point of knowing. If you can, and if you're able, try to call someone. If anyone's available to take you where you need to go, then that's probably the best thing to do, as opposed to trying to get into a car and drive somewhere where you know you might have an issue.
Enough of this feeling stuff. Let's go back to point 3.
Damn, okay, fine. Sometimes older people just can't drive. I don't know if it's because they're ignoring the traffic laws or the new ones they just haven't registered in their heads yet. Whatever it is, they're making the stupidest driving mistakes. You know how many news articles I've read where, like, they'll crash into a car wash? Or better yet, they'll crash into someone's home and then keep driving and then hit someone.
Both instances, there were no medical emergencies present.
I'm gonna put you down like a dog. Seriously though, it's all because of reaction time and all these other issues that they aren't getting assessed. So essentially what I'm going to say is, if you or a loved one is getting worried about an elderly person in your family or somebody else's family and getting worried about their eligibility to drive, go get them assessed. I kind of want old people to stop dying on the road and also old people to stop trying to kill me on the road and to stop going 25 in the 45. So this concludes my presentation. Too long, didn't read read, or too long didn't watch. A lot of the times when you're driving on the road, there's a pretty high risk of death anyway, but that risk is heightened if you are an elderly person, which only heightens more if you also have health conditions, and also if you just don't drive good. If you notice that with somebody you know, like your grandpa, your grandma, mima, papa, whatever you call them, go take them to get assessed. It's more important to make sure that they're safe, even if it means they aren't allowed to drive anymore. Being safe when it comes to your elders is the best thing to do. And yeah. Thanks for watching and listening and hearing me ramble about stupid shit for 7 minutes.
Does this mean we can go to Longhorn now?
Yes, disembodied pocket voice. Let's go to Longhorn Steakhouse, and I get the steak while you pay.
Yay, wait, no!
Here are all the sources that I used in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am never going to make a video like this again.